Hello YouTube, and welcome to a new Unity 3D tutorial. So a couple of new things. I'm trying a new recorder out because my last recorder, Snagit, was meant to be high quality, but you all saw it really wasn't. So yeah, we're going to try a new recorder, and we're going to jump straight into this tutorial because I know you're all really looking forward to it. So saving and loading in the game, well, in Unity, everyone thought was really difficult and long procedure to do because you had to use XML files, you had to import, export things all the time. It's really long, but then I found a better way. It's kind of custom, kind of not, but it's really easy to do. But then when you see what you have to do, you know that it's hard no matter what you do. But it's not hard, it's just long, very long. So we're going to jump straight in, and I'm going to go to the pause screen and add a pause button, not pause, save button there. Loading we're going to do another time, maybe tutorial, space tutorial after this, I'm not sure. So we're going to go to character here, and we're going to scroll down, not character, we'll go GUI scripts, and we'll find on-screen actions here. So I believe that's pause button, yep, pause audio. So then what we can do is if we scroll down, if I zoom in enough, if you scroll down here where pause button is, so if pause is active we have a resume and a quit button. Perfect. Now we're going to move this up by 30, so that will become 10. Then we can duplicate this one and we'll say it becomes 40. So it bumps it up, so it's 40 it moves up, so plus the size plus 10 to give it room. So that one was 48, so that's 30 plus 10, 40. So this one we'll call save game. Easy enough. And then we don't need any of this stuff in here, but instead what we're going to do is actually activate a script. In fact, shall I put it in here or not? I might actually put it in here, yeah. So all the new bits will be in the description of the code section. That's the way I try to do it usually, only add the new bits, so you're not looking through the scripts, but it depends what you want. So if you want me to put the whole script in there, comment below. If you want me to just put the new bits, comment below. Thank you, and then I'll be able to just judge. So the first thing we've actually got to do is add a new function to Unity, not actual function, new directories if you wish. And you do this by going all the way up to the top and underneath pragma strict, not above it because you'll get an error, just underneath it, but above all your variables and all your code, we're going to simply type import system.io, and you need a semicolon. Now what this does is it actually imports files from your actual operating system, so whether you're on a Mac, Linux, Windows, it'll import features from that. C# you do this by default, so it's okay, but here, and what it'll do is give you the ability to actually use your computer if you wish, so you'll be able to browse your documents, your folders, you might even be able to start apps. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but you need this in order to do it, otherwise you'll get loads of errors. So then what we're going to do is come down to where we have the button here, and we're going to begin actually creating the folder, because what this is going to do, what I want it to do is browse somewhere in your computer, create some folders and some files, and then it's going to create a text file, and you're just going to store all your saved data in that text file. But there's a neat little trick what you can do where you create your own custom type of file, so it's really cool. So first thing we're going to do is actually create a variable, var path, and it'll be a string, and what this is going to be is your actual path to where you want to save if you wish. So if you're on a Mac or Linux, I'm afraid I can't help you. I could help you with Linux, but I'm not 100% sure. So if you're on Windows, this will work perfect. If you're on Mac or Linux, I'll show you how now. So what you want to do is go to my computer and go into your first drive. So I've only got C drive here, and I'm actually going to create it in here. So as you can see, my Lost Maps game's there. I've been creating folders with it, but if you want it anywhere else, so like users or anything, you can. I'm not 100% sure how you'll determine which user to go through. I haven't looked into that, but if you need a tutorial, comment below and I'll do it. But I'm going to create it right here. In fact, I'm going to put it in a games folder as well. So it'll go into a games folder, then import it. So it should be really easy. So all this string is going to do is say C colon slash slash, not slash slash, normal slash, and all you're going to do is actually grab this bit here. So everything up here, you can even create the folders yourself if you want, but I'm going to make it do it for us. So C there, and then you put what files you want. It's that simple. So it starts at C, then I want it to create a new folder called games, then it'll add another one. So every time you want to go in a file, you put a slash, and it's got to be a /. And then we'll say, what's our game called? YouTube game. Yeah, that'll do. In fact, yeah, YouTube game / saved games / and it'll can go. So we'll just end it. However, when we actually create an game, we eventually want it to be given to loads of people. So a lot of people like to start multiple saves. So we'll need to give them a username if you wish. So what we can do is, I believe we already have a username, we can use it. So at the end of this, we can just put plus, and then we need to go and find where we stored our username in character creation. So if we go back to Unity here, and if we get any errors, don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about that for now. So if we go back to character creation, okay, not character creation, entity, I believe it's entity stats, so it might be in stats. Not 100% sure where we actually stored it. That's it. So this is the one we need, entity stats. So you're going to need to get the name. So player attributes .char.name. That's simple. So we can just copy that. Or you can link it directly to player, which will get it. So I'm going to go that way. So we need to go and tell it to find entity stats. So we'll just quickly type here game object.find, and I've just thought we never attached entity stats, so we'll just paste that in. Player attributes.player.char name. So then it'll create a folder within his name. That simple. So there's a path to where it's going to create it. So what we need to actually do now is create that folder if it doesn't exist already, and this is really easy to do. So in order to do this, we simply type if directory, and if you don't know what a directory is, it's basically a folder, a path to a folder. So all these are directories. So C is a directory. Games is a directory inside C. It's just it's not dictionary, so I don't think it's dictionary. Directory is basically just a list of folders. So like lost maps, it's saved games. They just folders really. It's directory. And then we put .exists. Then in brackets you put your path name, and then we'll just finish this off. So what's our path name? It's path. So if it exists, then it's going to activate this. But we need to say if it doesn't exist, then create it. So this is really simple to do. You can either put after this equals false. So if it equals false and it's not exists, or you press that. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think it will. If you've got C and games already there, it'll check for these ones and just create it for you. So if you have got games there already, it shouldn't matter. So in here, we need to create it now. Create this folder base. And would you believe it's nearly the exact same code, just with one modification. So we don't need these brackets because it's one liner. So we're going to copy all of this line here except the bracket and the exclamation mark, and we're going to paste it down here and put a semicolon. So directory dot, and what we're going to do is paste directory on again and just add the word create at the beginning. So if it does not exist, create it. That simple. So we can even go and try that now because we can delete them if it works. So as you can see, there is no games there. I will have to cut it into when it's in the game, but I'll show you again, otherwise it'll take too long. So as you can see, there's no games. We click save game, click, and then it says null exception, don't worry about that one. We go back to this and you can see games is now being created. We go in, YouTube game, saved games. Dragoon, oh look, and it's created the username, I forgot about that one. So this is where we're going to store all the data. If you renamed it, it'll be renamed something else and come down. Really simple, but that's not saving the game, that's just accessing files. But that's the basics of what you need so far. So if you haven't got that, it's going to store it inside Unity. And by that I mean not in here. Right click, show in Explorer. It will be not in there, it'll be here, where all this junk is of mine, which I have no idea. But it'll be in there, and you don't want it to be in there because it's a nightmare. It's not very good. But plus it's more professional if it's somewhere else. Think about all other games. But yeah, so now what we need to do is actually create a text file to store in here. Just a normal text file, that's what we're going to use, but it's not going to be .text. And if you don't know what that means, if we just go right click new and text document, you can see if you right click, okay, this is not doing it properly. There, it's a .txt file. we're not going to make it .txt, we're going to make it whatever we want. So this is a cool trick I didn't even know about, so here it is. So another feature of the input system IO is that basically IO stands for input output, so it's inputting and outputting data from your operating system, but it adds loads more commands. So like when you install Unity, if you go and program in normal JavaScript, you won't have game object, you won't have texture 2D, you'll have a boolean because that's in everything, but you won't have okay, that's not good, I can't find no else. But you won't have certain Unity only features like time.timescale or set active, you won't have them. Unity default imports them for you, so it's called mono develop, that's what that is. What this does is add more features like directory and another one we're about to use called file. So what we can do down here is when we create something new, like instantiate, we use a variable, so we'll say var create text, and we're going to say equals file, and that's basically just file options kind of thing. And then what we're going to do, we're going to create a text file, so we'll type create text. And I don't know if you like type create bitmap or something, I'm not sure if that'll work, but try it if you like. And then we need a brackets, and then inside we put what we want. So if we were to just put the file name of it, okay, for now we'll just test it with test save. Eventually we're going to improve that in a minute actually. But then that'll just create it inside assets folder. We're not actually saying create it with our path, so we're going to tell it to. So we're going to grab your path, and all you're going to do is put a beginning and put plus. That's it. So then it'll save it to this folder file. It's a bit weird, like you don't put file comma that, but apparently putting it like that, it works fine. So you don't even need to do anything with it. That's it. That'll create a document. It's not going to write to it yet, but it'll create it. So I'll show you that now. So if we just save it, and I'll load when we're back on. So if we go back to here, you'll see that Dragoon has nothing in it, and if we click save, it's not going to create it twice, it's only going to do it once. So if we click save, we get no errors, don't worry about them, it's just because we paused. But we'll come back and refresh. Okay, we did it slightly wrong, but there it is, look. Dragoon test save. There it is. So obviously if you right click open with Notepad, it does nothing. But we're going to have a look at more features with it now. So I should probably stop Unity. If you want it to be an actual text file, just type .txt on the end. And then if we go back, and I'll just try it and then show. So now as you can see, it's a .text file, and it works the exact same. Text file. Really simple. But you can also create your own file types for it. So I used JDM yesterday, because that's the name of our university company, what we've got to make for project or whatever. But I'm going to call it UTT. So for YouTube Tuts. And then we save it, we go back in and I'll show. So I click save game and we go back, and you will see UTT file has been created. Right click edit with Notepad++, there's our file. So it works the exact same. It's not encrypted so people can go in and edit saves, give themselves unlimited amounts of money. It's their fault if they want to cheat, that's the way I see it. I'll show you how to encrypt it one day. So we've now got that, but it's creating it outside of the file name and we don't want it. So we need to tell it to create it inside whatever folder it says. And our easiest way to do this is to actually just put a slash before this. Because in default in Windows, you can't have certain symbols in your text. So if I just go back to here, right click, and we'll start trying to edit file types, you can't have slashes, both ends, colons, stars, question marks, speech marks, more than less than signs, or weird shaped L's. You can't have them. So if you put a slash at the beginning, it'll create it inside the path. The reason it's not is because it's creating it, saved games.dragoon, but then it's not saying go inside, it's just saying that. So if I'll show you that again just to keep you updated. So I've just clicked it and played it, so if you go in Dragoon now, there it is, test save, it's been created. So I'm going to delete it just to keep doing it. There, perfect. So Dragoon, it creates all the files for you by default. Obviously we'll eventually make it not keep creating it and creating it and creating it, but not yet. So in here, we now need to begin writing to the actual text file. So we're basically going to say, add this line to it. That's all we're going to say. And you really wouldn't believe how easy it is. You simply type create text dot, and have you guessed? Write line. That's simple. And then in here, you put what you want to write. It's that simple. So let's start. So we'll just say in speech marks, character. In fact, I'm going to try and do it weirdly. So I'm going to put star star player details star star, and that's what I'm going to put. If you want to put on the next line, put a /n inside it. I always do. And I'm just going to put another one. Rate line. Don't worry about keep duplicating it. You can if you like, or you can put it all on one line. So player details, and in here we're going to type character name equals, and then I'm going to put after it plus. I'm going to grab the this player attributes thing there. So that'll write player details, then on the next line write character and then the character's name, aka saving his name. So one thing you have got to do though is just like when you I haven't really got no examples of this because we haven't ever covered it, but basically when you're opening text files and everything to edit, you do need to close them, and it's really simple to close as well. So when you imagine when you're opening a group that works, you have to close it at the end, else it'll just not work right. But in this case, it'll take up more processing power. So make sure you close it simply by typing create text dot close bracket bracket. And now what's only left is to try it, so we can see. So if we save it, go back to here, and we'll click play. I'll do it and then come back. So as you can see, absolutely nothing. We go in.
Game paused.
Save game, and we go back and you will see, wrong one, test save.ytt, edit with Notepad++, there, player details, and character name, Dragoon, nearly almost so many close, perfect. I want it on the same line, so obviously right here, player details, so that needs to stay there, but this one needs to go, and after it I'm just going to put /n. So what it'll do is put it on a new line. So this one we should create on the first line, add one space where it decided to add two for some reason, and then it adds that. Perfect. Now the one thing we're going to do before we go is actually make it create saves depending on the time you save. So if you create at this hour or this time, it'll save it with that name in it. So just like we did for the in-game time, we're going to add the literal date to it. So scroll all the way up to the top, and in here I'll type private var time, and it'll be the date with a bracket, and it's equals because it's not a type. So then it'll set it to date time da 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 da. Really simple. So we're going to scroll down and we'll find our save file, and we need to actually edit the name of it. So we want it to save it in the characters folder, but we don't want it to save it as test save. Not anymore. So we're going to get rid of this, kind of. So we're going to put a plus there, so make sure you keep the slash there so it goes inside the folder, and then put the YTT obviously in thingy so it's got a file type. So in here we're going to say hour, and then minutes, and then seconds. So first I want it to say the hour, so we'll type the variable name, which was, I have no idea, time, that one. Should have thought it. But yes, so in here we'll type time dot now dot, and then we'll say hour, then we put plus. What do we want in between? Now this is where it gets weird because you can't have a slash in between because it's a file name. So one good common way I found was just put a dash, it works. Plus time dot now dot minute plus dash plus time dot now dot second plus YTT. So that'll add it, and it'll work on time basis now. So a lot like SKYRIM. If someone would please write that in the comments for anyone who doesn't know, because I can't say it for copyright reasons. It'll save it as time based, like that one did. So we'll just stop that and come back in. So as you can see, it's called test save at the moment. So when Unity loads, bracket,
game paused,
save game, and we go back, there's the time right now. So if we click it again and come back, completely different time now. So it saves it based on times inside the usernames folder. And then we can open it, edit, and it'll say your name is blah blah blah. Honestly, that wasn't doing it when I did it. I don't know why that is doing it. That should be there, like so, but hey. but it works. YTT, you can rename it whatever you like. And then next tutorial I'll show you how to actually open it and play with it, because that's what the purpose of saving is. But if you want proof with how long it is, because if you think you need to save your position, your rotation, what you've got in your inventory, equip screen, weapons, you need to save everything. So unless there's a better way, this is the way you need to save it. So this is my save data one here, and as you can see, it saves it because it's a separate function, and this is everything I've told it to save for the Lost Maps one. All these here, manually wrote. So as you can see, we'll just start with a couple. System settings, like we did, as you can see. Date saved, and it shows you what date it was saved. Time saved, time. Loaded level, it shows you what level they're loaded. So hey, I like that one. We'll nick that one quickly. In fact, no, we won't leave it. No. So player settings, first name, last name, gender, walk speed, run speed. It saves everything, and I'll show you what it looks like. So Lost Maps, save games, and I haven't saved one. Crap. Well, that failed, but hey. So that's how you do it. It's really, really, really simple. So simple to do. It's literally that. That's it to save a whole game. Well, not a whole game, but bits of a game. So you need to write your lines in. Don't forget that, otherwise you'll get an error. But then that's it. So it writes everything. Write anything and everything it can do. If you want an array, you need a for loop. So here, like that. You need to make it for loop and read everything to store it as name, stuff like that, else you get an error. But that's all we're going to do this tutorial. I really hope you liked it. It's very commonly requested, really easy to do, and really easy to load as well. That's the cool thing. So thank you for watching. I really, really hope you liked it. Please tell me any questions I've asked for throughout the video, and whether the new recorder is good or not. If it is, I may consider buying a new microphone, because I know it's not the best at the moment. Thank you for watching. Please join my Facebook group. I'm always up to chat, and see you next time.